Arab Americans in the political arena. Now, Michael has talked about how there's a history of this political involvement, but I'm talking about running for public office and indeed for Congress. It's a fairly recent phenomenon, running for Congress. And in terms of politicization of the Arab American community, in terms of the national political arena, I still tend to date it from the mid-60s and the Arab-Israeli wars of 1967, the Israeli invasion of Lebanon, which made Arab Americans flock to national organizations, and the Abscam operation, in which the Justice Department took a swarthy ethnically Italian person, dressed him up with a keffiyeh nagad to entrap certain corrupt congressmen. And they saw, the Justice Department and the government saw that as a great success because they were able to get some convictions. Whereas they were totally oblivious to and unapologetic to the Arab American community when this happened. And when Jim Aberrisk went to the then head of the Justice Department and complained, and the FBI, William Webster, he said, well, we needed somebody who would be credible, despite the fact that there historically there's been no examples of Arabs trying to bribe public officials. Now, let's move on here to the Congress. Now, Arab Americans have served and are currently serving in Congress. For Jim Abdenour, Jim Aberrisk, Spencer Abraham, and George Mitchell have served in the Senate as of 2006. Ray LaHood, Nick Rahal, Darrell Issa, and Chris John, serve in the House of Representatives. Chris John is no longer in there. There are two others. Some of these members of Congress have been supportive of Arab American issues and concerns, and others have not. Some, such as Senator George Mitchell, have been close to and mindful of the power of the pro-Israeli lobby. None of them, however, save Mitchell and LaHood, rose to prominence and influence in the chamber in which they served. And none, to the best knowledge of this author, sought to use their elected positions to proactively promote among their colleagues a counterweight to the dominance of the pro-Israeli discourse in Congress. It's not, so for me, it's not important whether there's an Arab American elected to Congress, all right? It depends on what kind of person. The Arab Americans have generally gotten much more support from African American members of Congress and from some